All right, everyone, and welcome back. I'm Christina, aka ThatVarietyNerd, and today we are into, this renovation that, oh my god, this was a bit of a doozy to say the least. So, we go into this minor mansion, and, we have not so minor renovations. So, on that happy note, let's just go ahead and get started. Again, save file progress is, of course, in the description down below, as is Linktree, where all my social media is, and also the other links, including Twitch, and of course, I have social media always in the description down below. But in case you're wondering, Linktree is pretty much, just a one stop shop for where you can click on, my Instagram, Twitch, all that kind of good stuff, so that way you don't have to, worry about links and stuff like that. So there you have it. And by the way, I am not sponsored. I'm just saying that I found that tool over the weekend, and it was a really cool thing for me to find. So either way around, as always, get comfy and cozy, get your choice of beverage, get your snacks, and let's just go into this renovation. This one's a little bit more of a longer one, just because this place needs help. So, yeah, this place needed a lot of help. Again, we sort of keep things similar but different, but I wanted to open things up at the same time just to sort of, play around with the new, uh, of course, the new objects and stuff like that. Again, as a disclaimer, we are not renovating the crane lot just because it's already cool enough on its own. So, that was my logic there for not doing that one. But what is cool, however, is that this is our last renovation in Evergreen Harbor, I think it's called. That sounds about right. So, yeah, I think at this point, at the time of recording this voiceover, which is Sunday, June 28th, we have 5 or 6 worlds out of 16 done. So, again, at the rate we're going at, it's gonna be like 2 years from now by the time this thing is done with. But rest assured, the problem with me is that I just have no motivation at all, and there's just a lot going on to say the least. But here we are, we are renovating, we're back with just renovation goodness. That's kind of the best way we can describe it. But this entire kitchen, I want to have whites and blues kind of in there. Something kind of chill. Very chill, very quaint, clean, something to kind of go along with, what we've got going on here in the kitchen. So that was kind of my logic right there. And so I add this, breakfast bar island type of thing here. And so to me, it was harder to find chairs that would actually kind of mesh pretty decently, a table. And so we go with a small, quaint little table, just a few seats, nothing major, just something very quaint and chill. So we just go again with this little small table that I think it works out pretty well. Yeah, so we end up going with a glass table from the base game, and then we add in blue chairs. It's actually a pretty decent little fit, to be completely honest. It's not too modern, but it's also it ties in together pretty nice and neat. We also add in some new lights, everything's kind of just new in general to this particular build. So yeah, that's kind of where we're going. We wanted to keep some things in there. We add some new windows everywhere to open things up a little bit and to make things brighter, I think, too, because I think this place really needed it just in general, even if it's something like that, it's still a nice little decorative um, window to say the least. And it's a feature piece as well, it makes it stand out from the rest of the houses in the neighborhood. So that's kind of what I was thinking there. So I want to add in, the new windows and all that kind of fun stuff. And so that's what we went with that. So that's kind of my logic behind, that bathroom, the kitchen, pretty much a little bit of everything. We really just gut out this entire place and just make it our own. That was kind of what happened there. So, yeah, everything's going all right. We're trying to make things, just as streamlined as possible in this household. Yeah, so that's kind of where we're at here. We have a bunch of bedrooms. We have a couple of bathrooms, I think. I know there's one downstairs and one upstairs. There is an ensuite bathroom, and then there's a half bathroom connected to it. So there's a half bath upstairs, and then there's a master bath upstairs as well. So that's kind of what we're thinking. Right, right. So that was kind of where everything was going in this particular spot right here. But I want to make it kind of just look more lived in, I think. That was kind of the goal for this one. But I really like how it turned out. It's kind of got that it's got the clean modern countertops and the appliances, but it still feels generally pretty cozy. I didn't touch the outside a whole lot for somewhat obvious reasons. I didn't feel like it needed a whole lot of work. And honestly, you can go in there and just do the thing anyway. So there's that, but I really just in general I liked how this turned out. So yeah, we're kind of just moving onward and upward. We have this sort of grayish bluish theme going on, which I found really cool. So That's exciting. That is quite exciting. But yeah, we add this little bar area, and I don't know. I just really like how I love this kitchen. I really do. I think it's a good balance of like, something that's more traditional with modern. And I don't know, I just really like how all this turned out. My apologies, everyone. Like, things are going on. Like, this is just in general, but like, not in a bad way. Either way around. Yeah, so this is kind of at the point where I think we took a little bit of a breather, but you know what? Let's just keep it in here. But I hope everyone's staying safe and staying healthy and just, taking care of yourselves as much as possible. We're still kind of going around with the whole situation going on in the world, that sort of thing. So we're just hanging out. We're gonna build and renovate and do all that good stuff. So yeah, break wasn't too long, but we are back. We change out the doors, the archways. Like again, you want to keep it a little bit traditional, but also, mix a mixture of like more traditional with modern pieces. I think really helped this place out. And so we're trying to figure out couches and that sort of situation. I didn't want to do anything like super wild and crazy, and so we just kind of keep it as simple as possible. So that happened. But yeah, so we add in a couch. Like, I don't think we add a whole lot of stuff in here. And again, you can kind of play around with all this as well. Just because it's sort of like, it's The Sims. Like, I can't tell other people how to play their games or anything like that. That's just not how I roll. But I want to add some like decorative objects, to kind of, fully flesh out the space quite a bit. And just, make it a little bit more homey and lived in once again. We added a smaller TV. It's a smaller house. Kind of makes some sense. And so I want to make sure that we had like a little splash of color in this room, just a tad bit. That way everything kind of just ties in a little bit more, I think. Right, right. So we add in this fireplace again. I like the blues that are kind of just sprinkled throughout the place, just in general, just because I think it adds something to the space. That was kind of my logic right there. But I think in general, it's also really good that we're kind of just taking our time in this house in general because there's a lot of decorative objects that, could be used and all that stuff. But I think like less is more sometimes, and so that was kind of my logic there. We have this little like office nook kind of area, which I thought was quite quaint. If you want to turn it into a crafting area, you can. I think I add an extra window over here. I could be super duper wrong, but I feel like that would sound about right at this point. But yeah, I added in this extra window just because I feel like it's kind of needed. And you know what? Who doesn't want a window to look out at while they're working? Like let's be real. But we got some dark like wood over here. So again, more dark woods and wood tones in general. But yeah, bathrooms I really don't care about as much to be completely honest because it's like, well, they're bathrooms. Like let's be real. So yeah, we added all this extra stuff into this room, and I don't know, I think it just shapes up pretty decently to be completely honest. But now we're moving on up to the upstairs area where let's just say that we got this entire thing entirely. Well, that's just where we're at. So yeah, it's a good time. Oh my god, sorry everyone. And I haven't had coffee since like Friday and I'm recording this on Sunday, so it's been a little bit of time. So, yeah, I think that's fair to say. But here we are, people. Here we are. We got ourselves an ensuite bathroom. We have like a half bath area, which you can easily convert to like, a laundry space if you really want to. So, like that sort of thing. So, yeah, that's kind of the logic behind that move right there. So, yeah, there is that. But either way around, we got all these different lights going on. And I don't know, I just really like how this space turned out just in general. I don't know, I can't really put my finger on it. I just really like it. We also convert one of the rooms that's like the orangey, like ombre type of coloring, like just right down below the ombre gradient, just right down below this red room right here. Just because like we keep at least one of these rooms like just red and orange. I thought that was very fitting. And I just really like how it turned out just in general. I thought that was a really good, mixture of things right there. But we add in like, some windows, everybody gets a window, that sort of thing. And we also add in a slider door to the master bedroom or the master bedroom. We don't add in a window for that bathroom, but you know what? They have a slider door, so it kind of compensates for it. So what I do is that I kind of get some inspiration once again from these like pre-made rooms, just so that way I can kind of, flesh out the space a little bit more. And you know what? Like they're always a good place to start at, just in general, to get a feel for the space, that sort of thing. I wanted to fill out as much as the space, as much of the space as much as possible. And so what we do here is that we have this like gray and black room that we eventually just turn into kind of like, a home office almost, but you can convert it into anything that you want, really. There's some planter boxes in here, so if you're trying to, like, get some crops going, you can. But what we end up doing here is that we just turn it all into, like, just this darker, like, space. I don't know how else to describe it other than that, but here we are. But as per usual, we add in, our bathrooms kind of towards the end, or I don't even know if that's per usual, but like, bathrooms are never fun to do, but I think the way that we, designed the bathrooms this time around actually made a little bit of sense. So that was kind of the logic there. But we've also got, so we got these bathrooms kind of, somewhat situated just in general. But we are starting to focus in on this particular like ombre area is kind of what I think. I think it's an ombre, or at least I know it's a gradient, but like sometimes it's referred to as an ombre. And it's like, what color are we going for here? So I just kind of have this really cute, like, red and orange and white vibe going on in here, and it's just like very quaint, cozy. I kind of envision like maybe a teenager and they want to, like, get into art and stuff like that. So it's a quaint little art space. That's kind of where we're gonna go with that one. And then, of course, we have the master bedroom coming up last here in our main event. I'm like blending the fandoms just a little bit. It's fine. Either way, we have this last little room here that we're about to work on in just a few moments. But again, I hope everyone's just, enjoying their week so far. It is Friday, at least at the time of uploading this. But yeah, so we're just going to see how this pans out. I just, in general, I really like how this lot turned out. And I think it's going to be quite interesting to see how the rest of the save file is eventually going to look like. I can't say what it's going to look like for sure, but I'm excited either way, and I think that's what should matter. Right, right. So, either way around, we are back here. We are finishing up this last little lot right over here. Just trying to utilize as much of the space as much as possible. So, yeah, I think we tried to go for an orange room, but I don't think it worked out quite, as well. But I don't know, I just really like how this room turned out in general. So we just turned it all to grays and whites, like very much like the bathroom space, I would say. But I like the darker wood with the lighter paint kind of contrasting each other. So that was kind of my logic behind that. But I don't know, I really like the space in general, and I hope you all do as well. We should be getting into the screenshots in just a few moments here, but again, as per usual, just have your move objects on. Like, that'll make your lives a little bit easier. Yeah, we use some cheats, all that kind of good stuff. I'm trying to get like a corner TV to kind of like be a thing, but it's like just not existing correctly. So there's that. It's just like it is not working. Just we tried. But I think we finally got it to where it kind of works out. Like I wish end tables would count, but here we are. Here we are. But we're adding the final touches in, and I think we're about to just jump into the screenshots in just a few moments, where I think you'll really see the difference quite a bit between like the first one, like the before and afters quite a bit, just with the layout and the colors and just, yeah, as you can see, it's like very dark down here, and then it gets a little bit brighter. There's a lot more breathing room and all of that. Like, it's just more quaint and cozy, and I don't know, I just think it just looks better if you kind of look at the night and day differences. Right, right. So, on that happy note, thank you all so much for tuning in. This is our last eco lifestyle renovation, which is kind of wild to think about. We didn't do the crane one simply because, well, the crane, well, it's its own thing. It's its own entity, so to speak. So, yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. So, we're done with eco lifestyle in terms of the renovations. I'm going to be going back to doing the 100 baby challenge a lot more, hopefully, so stay tuned for that. But as always, please leave a like, leave a comment, and also hit the subscribe button. All the links are down below in the description, and I will see you all later. Bye, everyone.